Oh. Merry Christmas, everyone. Welcome to another episode of LJ's Garage. Behind me is a 2019 Nissan Rogue. I ended up replacing Rudolph with this nice little SUV crossover thing right here. So stay tuned. Nissan says this thing is ready when you are. So we're going to take a look and see exactly what that means today. So this lovely ride right here is the second generation of the Nissan Rogue, and in 2014 when the Nissan finally introduced this and everything, there really wasn't much to it, but now, all right, this ain't gonna work. Forget the beard. All right, this kind of gives the Santa vibe enough without having to keep this thing on. Otherwise, I'm gonna choke on this fuzz, and you guys will have a very entertaining video. So, take two. So this is the second generation of the Nissan Rogue, which was originally introduced in 2014. So I'm gonna walk around the outside, hop on the inside, and take this thing for a spin. So you could go to the dealership and pick up a Rogue starting at about $25,000, which is actually a really good deal. It's got a couple different trims, the S, the SV, and the SL. The SV stands for Super Veloce. No, it doesn't, that's a Lamborghini. But anyways, this thing is actually pretty cool, and this specific one behind me is an S, also equipped with a special edition package. If you don't know what that means, stay tuned because we're gonna mention a couple things that the special edition package includes. So originally I wasn't gonna do this whole costume thing, but I got it for 20% off. So as you can see down there, that's where they took the 20% off. So we're gonna keep this camera up here and you guys can work with me as we go dashing through the snow. So before I get started on this tour of the outside, I want to say for you Star Wars fans, there's actually a Star Wars edition of this beautiful ride behind me. I don't know what that includes because I haven't really had the chance to find one yet, but I was told it exists. But I do know that it does not include Baby Yoda. So overall, what Nissan has done is they've taken the signature look that they're going for with the whole entire brand and they've brought it to the Rogue. So you'll see this blacked out front end, the sweeping front lines right here, or sweeping lines right here. You've got these sharp lines on the hood and then these cool headlights, but everything wraps together just so nicely. It's almost like they've kind of taken the inspirations they've gotten from the Nissan GTR. They even made this look on the Nissan Sentra. So everything's starting to look pretty similar and a lot of brands are doing it now. So it's kind of nice when you buy a budget-friendly car, you don't really feel like you're missing out. You're not getting the top of the line, you don't get all the cool looks, but Nissan's doing a good job of taking care of that for you. The only downside to this, if you get the Sport, is that you don't get LED headlights. So these are still halogen. 2019, 2020, you're still giving me halogen bulbs. I got a problem with that, Nissan. We're moving forward, and you can't tell me that savings is worth you not giving me LEDs. As you can see, halogen bulbs with LED daytime running lights. Originally, Nissan, you guys were on the good list, but I'm putting you on the naughty list. You know why? Fake vents. That drives me crazy. But I'll allow it on this one because it kind of looks cool. But, you know, you can't trick me. I see that those are fake vents. So you're on the naughty list, Nissan. I want to talk about the special edition package first because there's a couple things on the exterior to point out. The first thing is going to be these 17-inch wheels, and these actually look really, really good. That's the first thing that you get with the special edition package. The next thing that you're going to get are these heated side mirrors. You also do get roof rails, which are nice for when I'm bringing packages and delivering some stuff for Christmas events and certain things like that. The reindeer antlers do not come with the special edition package. The other things that you get tinted or privacy glass. I don't know why auto manufacturers call this privacy glass instead of window tint like the rest of us normal human beings. And then you also do get chrome door handles. So if you're not a fan of chrome, well, I guess you're out of luck. And the last thing that you get to know that you have a special edition on the outside is the special edition badge. Yes. A couple cool things to point out back here. The first thing is if you go for the higher trims, you can actually get a power tailgate, and it even has the motion sensing, automatic opening, all that cool stuff on the SV and SL trims. You can opt for those things. The best part of this, even though it's a crossover and you never really know how much cargo space you're going to get with some of these, this one actually has quite a bit. I can't really show you right now because I don't have all my gifts and presents loaded up. A couple days still till Christmas, but I want to show you guys something cool. Nissan actually has you covered because what they do is they actually have a little subfloor that's under here, so you can kind of store more things that you kind of don't want all the time. But even better is what you can do is, let's say you do have a reason to, come on, you can actually make a little shelf and then you have all sorts of cool little storage things that you can do under here. It's very functional. I like it. It's cool. It's different. And I really do love that sub storage area. As you can see, the rear seats do fold all the way flat. All right. So the special edition package costs $800. Not too bad for all that you do get. And once I get in the inside, I'll show you guys the two last things that you do get with that package. All right, so under the hood is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. This motor makes 170 reindeer powers, 175 reindeer torque. It is front wheel drive or all wheel drive, and it comes with a CVT. So gas mileage is about 25 to 33 miles per gallon, depending on if you have the all-wheel drive, the front-wheel drive, and there is also the hybrid model, which for 2020 they're getting rid of. So some of the older ones, you still get the option if you're on the used car market. And then the only transmission option, as I said earlier, was the CVT, which is continuously variable transmission, also known as an automatic transmission. And for those of you that are really adventurous and have lots of gifts to deliver, you can tow about 1,000 pounds. All right, guys, I'm gonna ho my way into this back seat. Just for reference, I'm 6'9", and there's plenty of leg room for me in here. Okay, I'm 5'9", I'm just kidding. But there's plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom. If you guys get in here, you can actually see like, there's like a whole, here, let me give you some reference. Look at that, there's this much headroom. And on top of that, these cloth seats are pretty comfortable. You got cup holders there, 2 right here in the armrest. You do get rear climate control vents. You do get a Type-C charger and the regular USB charger. And then you get these little storage compartments for your stuffs. The rear seats do slide forward and back. That's the other thing with the S, you do get manual seats, no power options on this trim. The last 3 things that you get with the special edition package, you're gonna get this leather wrapped steering wheel. You do get heated front seats, and then you get this leather shifter. As far as the infotainment system goes, this is all pretty much typical Nissan, no surprises there. You do get this nice touchscreen. It's not the largest, it's not the smallest either, but it's plenty functional, plenty efficient, and gets the job done. You also do get a pretty nice backup camera, as you'll see right here. And you got the parking lines and all that stuff, so when you start turning your wheel, it'll take care of you there. Let's put this back in park. On the higher trims, you do get dual climate control, but right now you just get this automatic climate control and that's it. You don't get any numbers or anything fancy, but that's okay. This is an S, to be expected. You do get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard on every Nissan Rogue trim. So this is what everything looks like from a driver's standpoint. You've got your standard audio buttons, cruise control buttons, and a couple voice command buttons. Wiper blades, turn signals, nothing crazy. And then here you've got your standard Nissan display, you've got your RPMs on one side, and you've got your speedometer on the other side. And then down below you've got the typical normal stuff, no surprises, nothing really crazy. You can change a couple things here, all from just the steering wheel. And then if you do have navigation going, it'll show up in that center screen. So really there's nothing to it. Pretty standard Nissan affair. I like it, not much to hate, not much to complain about. And they do give you this D-style steering wheel with the flat bottom. I'm not sure why, it's not the sportiest thing in the world, but some people like that D-style steering wheel. This is where your heated seat buttons are located. So you just got low and high. That's all you really need. Whenever you turn the car off, it does this really cool little summary. It tells you about your miles per gallon. And that's about it for the interior. And one last thing that I want to show you guys before I talk about some of the safety features, and it's this right here. 2019, 2020, Nissan is still putting a standard key on their S trim. You got to go up to the SL before you get keyless options. One of the cool things is Nissan actually has you covered to the fullest. You get a slew of safety features. Some of those include forward collision warning with pedestrian detection, automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, and high beam assist. So there isn't much to say about this thing. It's not a sport type SUV, so it's not the fastest, but this thing will get out of its own way. Highway speeds, you do notice that there isn't quite that top end performance, but you're not really looking for that in this thing. If you do push the sport button, which I'll do really quick right here, and you'll notice that the sport button's hidden way down there, so you can tell that that's not the focus of this vehicle. So I'm gonna floor it, not much happens. I don't really know the purpose of a sport button with a little 4-cylinder. Handling, not much to say. It's a very comfortable ride. It's a very smooth SUV. It's great for family and your little ones and your dogs and everything that comes in, you know, with needing a vehicle of this size. It'll get the kids to soccer practice. And again, doing it all comfortably. Seats are very nice. Nissan's done a great job making this a very great value in an affordable package. I wouldn't say that I trade this in for my sleigh or anything like that, but you know, it's a very nice ride. Cargo space is plentiful for a compact crossover type SUV. There really isn't a whole lot to really say The CVT feels good, it shifts nice. As everyone's staring at me, I'm sure they realize that, you know, this guy's probably a family guy, which they're wrong. I don't have any kids or nothing like that, but this is a great size. It doesn't feel overly large, but it really doesn't feel as small as some of the other crossovers. So plenty of headroom up there. You look behind you and you can actually reach back there just fine. It doesn't feel like you're in a spaceship or anything. As far as clearance and everything, blind spots, there's not too many, pretty much average. Pillars are nice and great. Steering wheel feels good. It's kind of got a like leather style influence on there. The controls are easily accessible. And then overall, Nissan's infotainment system, it's pretty standard. It does a great job without, you know, overcomplicating certain things. I really like this upscale feel at a sub $30,000 price. You know, that's always the best thing, is when you can keep a car like this under 30,000, but make it so that you don't feel like you're getting shafted. There's so many nice features, especially all the safety features being pretty much standard. You really feel like, hey, you know, I'm buying a 2019 or a 2020, and it feels really good. And with the 2020s, there's not a whole lot of difference. So if you're looking at this video and you're like, should I get a 19? Should I get a 20? If the price is right on a 19, I would grab a 19. One other cool thing is that, speaking of the safety features, the lane keep or the lane departure warning system that this has, I forgot what Nissan exactly calls it, but when you start to veer out of your lane, you know, I'm gonna take my hands off the wheel, I'm veering out of the lane, it's gonna beep and it's gonna bring the car back over. And it does a good job. It's not gonna actively fight you like a lot of the more higher end systems, but for under 30,000, you don't really find a lot of those safety features as standard, especially one that works pretty good. You know, if you're driving around and you're a little tired, this thing will pull you right back in your lane. So at least it keeps the other people on the road safer, knowing that you are able to, you know, keep the vehicle's able to keep itself in the lines. And, you know, that's a great thing. It does have a little bit of a delay before it kicks in, but either way, the fact that it brings you back over under 30,000 is a win. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for checking out yet another video in Ljs Garage. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for checking out the video. I'll leave you guys with a little Santa joke. Who delivers Christmas gifts to cats? Santa Paws. Oh.